topic acids. These are the formula of certain acids: hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, acetic acid, sulfuric acid, carbonic acid, phosphoric acid, hydrobromic acid, hydroiodic acid, formic acid. What is common in all these acids? In all these formulae, what is common? That hydrogen is common. Hydrogen is there in every formulae. So, what we can say an acid is? An acid is a chemical compound which contain hydrogen as compulsory element in the form of a proton. Proton is H positive. Acid is a chemical compound which contain hydrogen as compulsory element in the form of a proton. But this is not the complete definition for acids. So what is an acid? Acid is a chemical compound which, when dissolved in water, produce. Acid is a chemical compound which, when dissolved in water, produce hydronium ion as the only positively charged ion. Elaborate it. An acid is a chemical compound which contain one or more hydrogen atoms, and when dissolved in water produce hydronium ion as the only positively charged ion. See here, HCl when dissolved in water, it produces one hydronium ion plus one chloride ion. Same way, H2SO4, this contains two hydrogen atoms, and this when dissolved in water, this will produce hydronium ion plus HSO4 1 negative. As one hydrogen from here, that is used to form hydronium ion, and what is left here, that is HSO4 hydrogen sulfate radical. And this hydrogen sulfate radical, this again having one hydrogen plus water, and that will produce one more hydrogen ion and sulfate ions. So here sulfuric acid is producing two hydronium ions. What is an acid? An acid is a chemical compound which contains one or more hydrogen atoms. When dissolved in water, produce hydronium ion as the only positively charged ion. Now, what is hydronium ion? Hydronium ion. It is hydrated hydrogen ion. Hydrogen ion plus water, that gives hydronium ion. So what is hydronium ion? This is hydrated hydrogen ion, that is hydronium ion. Now next is classification of acids. Classification of acids. First classification, that is depending upon source. Acids are classified into inorganic acids and organic acids. Now, what are inorganic acids? These are obtained from minerals. And organic acids, these are obtained from plants. Second, does not contain carbon as essential element along with hydrogen. And organic acids contain carbon as essential element along with hydrogen. Inorganic acids usually strong acids, and these are weak acids. And if these are strong acids, contain ions only, if strong. Contain ions as well as molecules. Now the next is examples. Inorganic acids can be H2SO4, HCl, HNO3, H2CO3 and H3PO4, etc. Organic acids, that is acetic acid, formic acid, then this is oxalic acid. These are organic acids. See, this is having carbon as compulsory element along with hydrogen, and these carbon is not compulsory, only in carbonic acid that carbon is there. Otherwise, hydrogen is compulsory element. Hydrogen is a compulsory part of acids. Next classification. Second classification. Second classification depending upon strength. Again, acids are of two types. One is strong acid, other is weak acid. Strong acid, which ionize vigorously in aqueous solution. And weak acids ionize partially in aqueous solutions. Or we can say ionize completely. Secondly, strong acids produce high concentration of hydronium ion, and they produce low concentration of hydronium ion. Strong acids are, for example, H2SO4, HCl, HNO3, etc. Weak acids are acetic acid, formic acid, carbonic acid, etc. This is second classification based on strength. Third classification, that is based on concentration. Again, the acids are of two types. One is concentrated acid, and the second one is dilute acid. Concentrated acid, which contain very low percentage of, very low amount of, or very small amount of water in it. Than its own mass. Dilute acid, which contain large amount of water than its own mass. So there is no particular example for concentrated acid and dilute acid. Example for both: any acid can be dilute or concentrated. How can we say that the acid is concentrated or dilute when it is having small amount of water and more of acid into it? That is concentrated acid. And dilute acid, which is having large amount of water but very small amount of acid into it. How can we say that acid is concentrated or dilute? Up to which percentage? That is to be decided by degree of ionization. and this is represented by alpha, degree of ionization What is alpha? Alpha is equal to number of acid molecules ionized upon total number of acid molecules present in aqueous solution into 100. Now, how can we decide if the value of alpha, if alpha is greater than 30%, that acid is strongest. If alpha is less than 30%, then that acid is called weak acid. So this is how we decide the concentration of an acid. If the value of alpha, that depends upon the value of alpha. What is alpha? That is degree of ionization, how much that acid ionizes. And that depends upon the number of acid molecules ionized upon total number of acid molecules present in the aqueous solution into 100. We calculated if the value comes 30%, then that is more than 30%, then that acid is strong acid. If the value comes less than 30%, that is a weak acid. Now next classification. Next classification depending upon molecular composition. Depending upon molecular composition. Again, the acids are of two types. That is oxy acids and hydra acids. Oxy acids which contain oxygen along with hydrogen. Contain oxygen along with hydrogen and some other elements also. And hydra acids contain hydrogen and some non-metallic elements. So which acids contain oxygen along with hydrogen? That is H2SO4, HNO3, H3PO4, CH3COOH, all containing oxygen along with hydrogen. And hydra acids which do not contain oxygen but contain hydrogen and some non-metallic elements, that can be HCl, that can be HBr, that can be HI, etc. Fifth classification, that is depending upon basicity. Depending upon basicity. What is basicity actually? Basicity, that is the number of hydronium ions produced on ionization of one molecule of that acid. In its aqueous solution. Now, on the basis of this, acids are of three types: monobasic acid, dibasic acid, tribasic acids. Mono means one, which produce one hydronium ion. One hydronium ion on ionization of one molecule of that acid in its aqueous solution. And diabasic acids produce two hydronium ions on ionization of one molecule of that acid in its aqueous solution. And tribasic acids produce three hydronium ions on ionization of one molecule of that acid in aqueous solution. Now, examples of monobasic, diabasic and tribasic acids. Monobasic acids. HCl. When dissolved in water, that produce only one hydronium ion and chloride ion. And HNO3, when this is dissolved in water, that produce one hydronium ion plus one nitrate ion. Acetic acid plus water, as this is having 4 hydrogen into it, but only this hydrogen that will produce hydronium ion, that will ionize. H3O positive plus hydronium ion plus acetate ion. So this is also one of the monobasic acid. Now diabasic acids, which produce two hydronium ions. Diabasic acids produce two hydronium ions, like sulfuric acid. When dissolved in water, that will give hydronium ion plus HSO4 negative. That means hydrogen sulfate. This hydrogen sulfate again ionize in water and produce one more hydronamine plus SO4. So this is ionization in two steps. Produce two hydronium ion. Third one, tribasic acids. Tribasic acids. Produce three hydronium ion like H3PO4. H3PO4 plus water, and that will give hydronium ion plus what is left here, that is H2PO4 1 negative, and this is dihydrogen phosphate ion. This H2PO4 1 negative again ionize and produce one more hydronium ion plus HPO4 2 negative. Again hydrogen is there into it, and again it will ionize HPO4 2 negative plus water, and that will give one more hydronium ion plus PO4 3 negative. And here the ionization is in 3 steps, so they produce 3 hydronium ions. This is all about the classification of acids. That's all.